Hello everyone, welcome to my show, and today I have a story for you. So, a day or two ago, I get a message from one of my people that I worked with at Christmas Town, Corey, that the Frosty people and the Santa's Workshop people were all going to get together and go to B-Dubs. In case you don't know what B-Dubs is, that's Buffalo Wild Wings. So I asked my folks, and I tell them it's going to be the one in Newport News, and it'd be about 7. And they're like, okay, you can go. So I work that into my plans. I get to Buffalo Wild Wings. There's Corey, and there's Andy. Corey messaged me, I messaged Andy. The other people were all photography people that we worked with, but none of Santa's Workshop people came, and no other of the Frosty people came. We're all chilling out and hanging out and having a great time. It's amazing, because I'm like, yes, I'm finally going out and hanging out with friends. Like, social life is winning. And I look over at Andy, and I look over at the menu. Now on the menu, you can get boneless wings. But you can't just get boneless wings, no. There's more that you can get. You can get dry seasonings, or you can get sauces that the wings come with layered on them. And I'm looking, and I'm like, hey Andy, what were you thinking of getting? He tells me that he's thinking of getting a small order of the boneless wings with the, I forget, the roastin', blazin', whatever, the hottest sauce that you can get for the wings. So I look over at him, and I tell him, well, I'm going to get the boneless wings with the hottest dry seasoning, desert heat. Do you want to make a bet? What kind of bet? We're going to see who can eat the wings without having to take a drink. First person who wusses out and has to take a drink, they owe the other person, the winner, $5. He checks his wallet. He has $5. He says, let's do it. So we're waiting. And finally, the food starts to come out. They could first give us the appetizers, because I got a couple things of the chili queso dip for everyone to share, because it was being nice. And then they bring out the entrees. They bring out Andy's food. And then they bring out my food. Corey says we should do rock, paper, scissors, so we do. I win, so we decide to start with mine. We have the first few things of chicken, and we both look at each other, and we're just like, this is nothing. I mean, it tastes great, but it's nothing. It's pathetic. Like, what even is this? So then we try Andy's. Now, keep in mind, mine was the dry seasoning, which means that they have it sprinkled on top. Andy's is the sauce, which means that it can soak into the chicken. He grabs a bite-sized piece. I grab one that's like 3 or 4 bites. We eat our pieces, and we both start to feel it right away. I tell him, no, I'm not going to eat my next piece until you have a piece that equals the rest of what I just ate. So he does that. And then we go on to the next piece. And by the second or third piece, I'm tearing up. Tears streaming down my face out of my eye holes. We take another piece. I'm starting to have stuff running down my nose. And all the other people, they're giving flack and taking Snapchat and video. And I'm just like, I can take it. I am a man. Can't be beaten by sauce. We were breathing fire. We were dragons. We were dragons. There's fire in our mouths. Like, put gasoline and take a match. Spray the tongue with Axe and then light it. Flamethrowers. It was hot. We're getting down. We've each got like 2 pieces left, each of us. And we both realize that our faces are starting to go numb. They're all tingling all around this part. All around the part that's like the main mask. You merely tasted the fire. I was born in it. Molded by it. It's hot. It's getting hard to chew it and to eat it. Because the other thing, it didn't taste good. Like, if we were just going solely off of flavor, I would have taken one bite of those wings and be like, no, not having it. You can have the rest of them. No. Spiciness. I will give them credit. That is the first time in I don't even know how long that I have teared up at spicy food. Granted, I probably don't eat it that often, but still. Eyes watering, nose running. What I had wasn't that spicy. The desert heat, not that spicy, but it tasted good. What he had, the roastin' blazing or whatever, spicy. But it didn't taste that good. It's awful. But I stomached through it. The only reason why I stomached through it is because I wanted to win. We get down to the last piece. It's one piece between each of us. And I'm not going to let anyone call me a wimp or a wuss. So I'm like, no, you are splitting that piece in half and we are sharing it. There's none of this. No, I'm not about to let him be like, I ate more than you and I'm still, no. So then there's a solid 10 to 20 minutes after we finish that we're both just sitting there kind of hanging out. And we both want to like eat the next thing or take a drink. Not because like we're trying to alleviate anything, but just because, well, we've got food and drink we want to continue to consume. But no, we're too stubborn. So we're just sitting there hanging out, talking with people. And I'm like, okay, I realize that neither of us was going to give up. Neither of us was going to best the other. So I'm like, all right, let's just shake on a truce, because I know that neither of us is going to give up, and we have food. He shakes on it, but I don't consume anything. I knew that everyone around us was like, if I take like a drink or eat something, I'm going to get called out. So I'm like, so I refuse to consume anything. And I'm like, okay, I don't lie, so you can trust my word. But I don't trust you so much. So tell you what, I'm going to wait until you eat something or until you take a drink. I'm not going to give you any flack about it. As soon as you do, that's just like the game is done. No winners, no losers. And that's when I'll consume something. So basically, we wait. Then Andy gets this bright idea. Corey says, hey, Andy, so if you think that the desert heat stuff isn't so spicy, you should try snorting it. Andy tries to get me to get back in and be like, Dare's back on. I'm like, no, I did not sign up for that. I don't snort anything. He decides he'll still do it. He takes my box, because we set it aside after the first couple pieces because it wasn't worth it to try to continue, because it's not that hot. We wanted to focus on the, destroying our taste buds aspect. He starts pouring some out onto a napkin. He gives up on the napkin and ends up pouring it out on the table. Puts the rest back. His brother hands him like his credit card or something like that, and he forms it into a line. It's pretty clear just watching him that he's done stuff like this before. He scrapes it all into a nice little line. His brother hands him a dollar bill. Now, my first thought when I'm looking at this, and I think some of the others were having the same thought, is that, okay, his brother's giving him $1 to do this because it's going to be a funny thing. No. And there are some of you who know. You know. I look over at Andy, and he starts rolling up the dollar bill. He rolls it up, and he has this nice line of powder. He psychs himself up for a few minutes. He decides to brush away the majority of the line. Start with something small, and then he does it. He's just like, and then he's like, not enough. And he goes for the rest of it. This is like, he goes for the rest of it. And then he's just like, ah. he, after a few minutes, he's starting to tear up. Not as bad as I was, but he starts to tear up. And he starts drooling. He's drooling on himself. And he's like coughing up, like spit, like spewing spit onto himself. Unintentionally. And it's just like he can't control his fluids. After a few minutes of this torture, which he says was worse than the wings, he's like, all right, I'm done. He grabs his drink and holds it up, and I grab mine. We cheers, and then like I'm drinking my drink and I'm just fine, and he's drinking his like you can see the regret on him as he's drinking, and it's just like, dang it, Andy, the things you do. This, oh, and we're all laughing at him, and they were all joking that he and I are gonna get ourselves killed, and our bowels are gonna have a fun time, and I can still feel the spicy in my stomach and such, and it's not like it's that weird cold emptiness that you only get like with spicy food, and it's just like, like I almost want to throw up, just be like, it's just So, for the first outing with a group of friends that I've had and I don't even know how long, and I compete with someone on eating spicy food, and he snorts some of the freaking spicy seasoning. What is life